Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk about hormone replacement therapy, or HRT, and its connection to POI and the benefit and purpose of HRT. But instead of just sitting and talking to the camera, I thought it'd be fun to do like a get ready with me. Just do some quick makeup as I get ready to go to my grandmother's house for a Sunday dinner. So welcome back. Thanks for being here. Like, subscribe, share. Don't forget to check out the website, mypoijourney.com, and join the community. So just as like a quick refresher, throwback. Oh my gosh, sorry, this chair is like, I have like a split in my dress and it's like, what? See, anyway, as a refresher to everyone, primary ovarian insufficiency is when a woman's ovaries stop working normally before the age of 40. And so it means it's not releasing eggs and not producing the correct levels of different hormones, specifically estrogen. And so that's kind of where HRT comes into place, hormone replacement therapy. And so the therapy supplements those missing hormones that are just not properly producing in our bodies. And I'm supposed to be doing my makeup while I'm talking. And I'm also going to talk about my story too here. But so the importance of estrogen and HRT in relation to POI. So having proper estrogen levels is very helpful when it comes to like bone health, to help fight against osteoporosis, and to help with cardiovascular health, and help fight the risk of dementia. Yeah, oh my god, that's gonna go in my eyeball. That's gonna go in my eyeball. I'm not cooking up. No, it's okay. To help fight the risk of dementia, cardiovascular disease, osteoporosis, and so obviously those are very like critical side effects. I feel like side effects is not the right word, but complications related to POI. And so with estrogen, there are several types of delivery for estrogen. There's the transdermal patch, there's peels, there's gel, there's vaginal creams to kind of help supplement that and introduce it back into your body. So for me personally, I do the transdermal patches, and so I've changed them twice a week. I probably should have had an example here on the table with me, because I actually just got to refill my prescription, but I'll probably just like add a picture in here somewhere so you can see what the patches look like. But you put the patches on and you change them twice a week. That's what I use. I can't speak for like the pills or anything like that. So for me, HRT, estrogen patches, and the progesterone, they have been very helpful. I should probably say my progesterone dosage. Like, so for me, progesterone is 200 mcg, I believe is what it is. But I take that only 12 days out the month. And so with the combo of the estrogen and progesterone, that's kind of I have cyclical. I'm just all over the place. So I do cyclical with my progesterone. I only take it 12 days out of, I know some women take it more days than that. So my experience with the patch, I would say it's been helpful in regulating like my hot flashes, and reducing them. I really don't have hot flashes too much anymore. Every now and then I may have one, but it's not as bad and consistent and multiple times a day as before. And so it is the end of June right now, and I started hormone replacement therapy I think either the end of October or early November of last year. And so it's been very helpful with the hot flashes and kind of getting those under control. And I used to wake up with night sweats all the time, and just like could not sleep through the night. Like I literally had the fan directly on me no matter what the weather was outside. And I still sleep with it on me too, just to kind of as a precaution, but it is also summer right now. But anyway, so it's helped with the hot flashes, it's helped with the night sweats, it's helped a little bit with the brain fog, but I would say that I still kind of suffer from just having moments where I'm kind of forgetting what I'm saying in the middle of my speech, or just kind of forgetting what I just came out of my mouth, or what's going on. It's better and it doesn't happen as much, but it is still things that I have to deal with. So with like actually putting on and wearing those patches, it's kind of odd, and I'll be honest, like you get used to it after a while, but you know, you have, like when you first started, you're like worried, like, oh my gosh, I'm in the shower, like I don't want it to come off in the shower. But the adhesive on it is really and I'm looking down at my mirror, but the adhesive is pretty strong. Actually it's really strong depending on where you put it. And I think I put mine on my thighs or my buttocks. I know some people also put it in like the lower abdomen area. But like the adhesive is strong, so you don't really have to worry about too much of it coming off in like the shower. I have not been in like the ocean or the pool yet, so I can't speak to that because it's just now summer here, but I'm not a swimmer or anything like that. Like maybe if I go out of town, I may get in like some body of water, but that's just not something I'm gonna do realistically. But yeah, so the adhesive is strong, but then also with it being strong to like last of the showers, when I would pull it off, it would leave a mark. And not only does it leave a mark with like the residue, which I'm still trying to figure out the best way to remove the residue. I've seen some people online saying like baby oil or like different essential oils help with that, because I had tried like using alcohol wipes to get that sticky stuff off, and it doesn't work. In the shower, scrubbing with my like sugar scrub, it doesn't work. So for me, the most I've noticed is just like time, really, to like get it to come off. But also if you kind of pull it too hard, or maybe if you put it somewhere you may have like some micro thin hairs, it can pull at the little hairs and leave a scar. Like I had a scar for like a month when I first started using HRT, and actually I still have a couple, but that's kind of because lately I think I've been becoming allergic to the patches. And I have an appointment with my reproductive endocrinologist in like a week or two, and I plan to ask her like, hey, about this, and I can report back about, you know, what she says. But people on the internet and some of the POI groups that I joined on Facebook had mentioned putting Flonase on your skin first, letting it dry, and then putting on the patch, and so that did help. And I feel like I'm kind of jumping around, but the patch helped with a lot of my symptoms. It didn't cure everything, but I'm able to live life a lot more happier now, and you know, feeling a little bit more like myself, which I feel like that may be another video about just how POIs made me feel like my body is betraying itself, like my body betrayed me, and how I felt. But I feel like that's another video. But yeah, so like I think I've been growing allergic to the adhesive, so I don't know if I need to switch brands, because there are several brands, and like I said, I'll include a picture of the patch from the brand that I use now. It's just not in front of me, and I'm on a roll with my makeup, and so I want to get it done. And then as for the progesterone, well, so the sticky stuff, residue, and kind of leaving some scars, that's kind of for me the major drawback of the patches. But I know it's more beneficial to have the estrogen and to take it than to not. So, you know, if I deal with some side effects. And I also kind of, while I'm thinking about it, I want to address that I know there's a lot of misconceptions about HRT and how like it increases the risk of like breast cancer and blood clots. And that study was done on women over the age of 50. And I believe it's just one study with that, because I talked to my doctor about it, because I saw that online. And, you know, being under that demographic in my 30s, it's not really a real risk. I mean, there's always risk for everything, but it's not really the same risk as like that study. So there's no real reason to have that fear. And then so the second part of my HRT is the progesterone. So I take 12 pills a month. take it at night before bedtime because it does make you sleepy. Like, the side effect is reminiscent of like a mild sedative. And they say, like, in the warning package to, you know, not operate heavy machinery, drive a car, especially your first few days taking it, to see how your body reacts. And so for me, on the first couple months, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, especially the first hour after taking it, I would feel like so sleepy, so woozy. So each month I would try to take it at a different hour to just see how it worked, because I would wake up so tired too, especially if I was taking it like 10 o'clock and then like trying to wake up for work. Also, an important thing to mention is that you're supposed to take it the same 12 days every month. So I think I take it like the 16th through the 27th or whatever, every month. And then once you stop with the progesterone after your final dosage, maybe 24, 48 hours later, it should induce a period, but not necessarily like a period where you're ovulating or anything like that, but it's to help prevent the risk of cancer. So if you're on the estrogen, just estrogen, and not taking the progesterone to balance it out, and you know, have a period, there's a risk of uterine cancer because the uterine walls like getting so thick. So that's why my doctor has me taking the progesterone to like balance that out, because who needs another scare, another issue going on when you already have to deal with this. Part of it feels like I should be saying what products I'm using. Don't know if you guys actually care, but I'm going light today. So it's the Ilia skin tint. I have both Fenty and Hourglass concealer, and old school throwback Laura Mercier translucent powder honey. And now I'm about to use both a Sephora and a House Lab bronzer. But where was I? See, memory. Progesterone, right. So you take it, and I was saying how it's kind of like a mild sedative, like almost feeling. And I know it, everybody, it's gonna be different and how it impacts them. I would say this month is the first month that I feel like it hasn't felt like a ton of breaks when I would take it at night, like wanting to like be super sleepy and make me wake up more sleepy. And I don't know, I'm assuming it's because my body is more used to it now. And I'll probably maybe report back in a couple more months. I'll probably report back on my Instagram and not make like a full video about it, but on if this month was just like a fluke or something. And then withdrawal bleeds for me have been more lighter than like what my typical period was. And so for me, a big question that I've kind of been talking to my doctor about, like, okay, so how does this balance with like the period that I was already having? And then with POI, you don't necessarily have your periods every month, frequently ovulate and all that the same way that you previously were. Mine, and I talked about this, they weren't as regular as they used to be, but I was still getting my period most months. So for me, it's kind of weird because sometimes I'm having like, well, there was one month, like earlier this year, I had 2 periods. I had my period, and then I had the withdrawal bleed from the progesterone. So that was interesting. And honestly, this month, I think I'm kind of going through the same. It's giving TBD because I was on my period while taking the progesterone, and I just finished the progesterone. So we'll see what happens with the period. But so you kind of have to learn how it interacts with your body and be in constant communication with your doctor, and just kind of figuring out what's best for you, because patches may not be the best for everybody, or maybe better vaginal cream, you know, it just kind of depends on your symptoms. But it's just really important to kind of, especially with estrogen, to help with the cardiovascular health, the you know, bone health, cognitive function. So I am team HRT. Even with the drawbacks of being sleepy sometimes, or you know, the patches, which if you look, well, if you look at my butt, there are, like I said, the patch shapes like all around it. Like, obviously nobody's gonna see it but me and my husband. I guess if I go to the beach and wear like a bikini, but like I said, I don't really swim for real. Maybe on vacation that I'm gonna take later this summer, but I'll just have a cover up. But to me, it's worth it. It's just, yeah, it's worth it. And that's kind of my experience. I haven't even been on a full year yet. Oh, I guess I should also talk about some other important things that I've noticed since taking the estrogen. It has helped balance my FSH levels, and so my FSH levels were super high. And when they're super high, it makes it harder for you, to try to get pregnant when you're trying to conceive and everything. And so since taking the estrogen, and I had a lot of blood work early this year when my husband and I were trying to do IUI, which that's another video and all that whole experience, but my estrogen levels had gone up to normal ranges for what it should be. My FSH came way down, and so it was really balancing, and so it was showing that it truly was working. It wasn't just like what I was feeling or maybe thinking like, oh, I should feel away. Like, the blood work was showing, it was showing those results too. It's so interesting, like, doing this and shut off camera, it's like talking, but then like, wait, what is my next step that I normally do? I don't think I want to do too much bronzer because, like I said, I'm just going to my grandma's house. If you hear that, Archie is making another, you definitely hear that. Archie is making another guest appearance. He either hears somebody in the hallway or I'm just gonna let him have a moment. Archie, baby. You cool? Is you cool? No. And so I know, having POI, being newly diagnosed, and I just made so many faces to put this blush on. But having POI, being newly diagnosed and trying to figure everything out and understanding the treatments, and I think I do want to be, I want to be clear that like HRT doesn't cure POI. Like, that's not its purpose, that's not what it does. It just helps with the symptoms and the side effects, and I should say not side effects, complications, potential complications and risk related to POI. And they just can kind of like help your body. I'm using Strawberry Drip Fenty Cream Blush. I've only started getting into blush in recent years as I'm getting older. I don't know. So yeah, while HRT isn't going to cure POI, it does help with day-to-day life and just feeling and feeling like yourself more and just regulating things that your body is going through. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of really talk about treatment for POI and how I've been dealing with it, how I've reacted to it, impress upon the importance of it and how helpful it can really be. I put a little highlighter on. There's like some broken old NYX highlighter that I probably should toss, and I really need to get my makeup bag kit a little more updated. Like, I literally have a broken brush. Not important to this video, but I have a broken brush that I need to just like get a new one. And this is a Fenty highlighter. Actually, it's a Fenty bronzer, I think. Champagne Heist. But this one's light enough that I can like highlight my nose. But anyway, so thanks for watching. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share. Again, visit the website, mypoijourney.com. Check out the community forum where you can create topics, reply to topics, and kind of find this as a community and connect. And yeah, living with POI sometimes can feel really hard and saddening and anxiety inducing and cause depression and all of that, but there is a treatment to help with some of the aspects, and it's just important to take it a day at a time and keep on chugging and moving forward. Yep, thanks for being here, and my makeup is pretty much done because, like I said, doing it light because we're going to grandma's. Well, it's Big Mama, but my grandmother. And yeah, thanks for being here. Bye.